Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Fan lets Savannah Chrisley have it with cold, hard truth. A fan is not holding back when it comes to Savannah Chrisley, and they let her have it with the cold, hard truth. She has been getting a lot of heat recently, and people are not being that kind regarding her and her family. So, what did this follower have to say? Keep reading for more details. Fan lets Savannah Chrisley have it with cold, hard truth. Savannah Chrisley has been working on getting her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, out of prison since they first went in. They have been locked up since January 2023 and will be there for a combined total of 19 years. Julie was sentenced to 7 years, whereas Todd was sentenced to 12 years. Currently, Julie is in Kentucky, while Todd is in Pensacola. It has been a nightmare for Todd, which Savannah has spoken about on her podcast, Unlocked. Currently, he is in the process of being transferred, which is a blessing and a curse. Savannah has made it known that she is going the distance to try and free her parents. Julie had a resentencing, which did not work out the way that they hoped. Therefore, Savannah has hopes the president will be able to help her, and her fans have been nothing but encouraging. They have suggested that she take it to the top, and that is exactly what she is doing. Then, others think she needs to stop complaining so much and be grateful that her parents are still alive. One fan wanted to let Savannah know how lucky she was, so they sent her a message on social media. The fans started a Reddit thread to share this message that they sent Savannah Chrisley. They wanted to let her know that they just buried their father. At 29, they will never see their dad again and are tired of hearing Savannah whining and complaining. She can see, email, and call her parents, so she is luckier than most, but does not appreciate what she has. So, did fellow Chrisley knows best fans agree, or did they feel for Savannah? Way to go! Many followers were proud of the fan for sending the message and harsh wake-up call to Savannah Chrisley. They felt that this was the perfect message for the podcaster, and it was time someone said this to her. Furthermore, they wondered if the fan got a response. Savannah Chrisley's Instagram page was once a place filled with pastel-colored quotes, airbrushed selfies, and supportive fans rallying around her family's drama. But lately, it's turned into a battleground, where not everyone's bringing flowers. And one fan, in particular, wasn't interested in sugarcoating anything. On a quiet Tuesday morning, Savannah posted a photo of herself sitting cross-legged on a velvet couch, wrapped in designer loungewear, her long blonde hair curled to perfection. The caption read, "Some people will never understand the strength it takes to smile through the chaos. Keep shining." Within minutes, the comments flooded in. Most were kind, offering hearts and prayers for Julie, Todd, Chloe. But buried beneath the glossy support was a comment that didn't bother with emojis or soft edges. One fan, username @RealTalkRebecca, dropped what some are calling the cold, hard truth. "Savannah, I say this not out of hate, but because someone needs to say it. You're not a victim. You've lived a life of luxury most people can't imagine, and now you're acting like the world owes you sympathy. Your parents didn't go to prison because of the witch hunt. They committed fraud. And instead of owning up to it, you've turned it into a personal brand." The comment was sharp, detailed, and unapologetic. Rebecca's words continued. "You talk about strength, but real strength is facing consequences, not fighting them with podcast microphones and merch drops. Real strength is apologizing to the people your family hurt, not posting filtered selfies with vague captions about haters. You're turning pain into profit and calling it advocacy." That comment, like a spark to dry grass, ignited a fire. People replied instantly, some defending Savannah, some applauding Rebecca. The thread grew longer than the post itself. A few users tagged Savannah, demanding she respond. Others posted clapping hand emojis. One woman, clearly a longtime follower, chimed in with, "Finally, someone said it." For once, Savannah stayed quiet. No clapback. No screenshot posted to her story with the caption, The devil works hard, but I work harder. Just silence. But the silence didn't erase the words, because Rebecca's comment wasn't just a moment of online sass. It tapped into a growing sentiment among former die-hard Chrisley fans. Behind closed doors, or rather, in private messages and group chats, fans had been whispering for months.
Sure,
Is
she was
Savannah
going
losing
through hell.
touch? Her parents were in prison. She was raising Chloe. She'd lost her show, her family home, her sense of normalcy. But Rebecca's comment reminded everyone that pain doesn't give you a free pass to rewrite the truth. In the days that followed, Rebecca's comment made the rounds. Screenshots landed on Reddit, in gossip blogs, even in TikToks by influencers who'd once called themselves #ChristlyCrew. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just Free Julie or Savannah's so strong. It became, has Savannah become the villain in her own redemption story? One pop culture podcast, Influence Unfiltered, did a whole segment on the comment. The host, sipping an iced coffee, said, "Look, I'm not saying we shouldn't have compassion, but turning your family's crimes into content, that's not healing, that's marketing." And I think that fan nailed it. Meanwhile, Rebecca, who had just 320 followers at the time, woke up the next day with her phone buzzing nonstop. Her DMs were filled with strangers thanking her, asking for interviews, or trying to argue. "I didn't mean to go viral," she said in a later TikTok. "I was just tired of watching someone act like they were wrongfully accused when the court system and a stack of evidence said otherwise. I'm not trying to cancel Savannah. I'm just asking her to live in the same reality the rest of us do." That reality was getting harder to ignore, because behind the filtered photos, Savannah had quietly launched new merch. Hoodies with phrases like "faith over fear" and "innocent until proven fabulous." Fans like Rebecca saw it not as empowerment, but exploitation. Rebecca's final words in the now famous comment still echoed across platforms. "It's time to stop hiding behind glitz and Christian quotes. If you want redemption, it starts with truth, not curated sorrow." And that, perhaps, was what stung the most. Because somewhere beneath Savannah's polished exterior, behind the podcast Mick and the reality show reruns, was a young woman genuinely trying to keep her family together. But in doing so, had she built a brand around selective truths? A week later, Savannah finally responded, not directly, but subtly. In a new podcast episode titled, "When the World Turns on You," she spoke softly, her voice trembling at times. "People think they know me. They think they know what this has been like. But none of you were there the night I had to tell Chloe what was happening. None of you watched my mom cry herself to sleep in that courtroom. I'm doing the best I can. Maybe I don't always get it right, but I'm trying." She didn't name Rebecca. She didn't have to. The damage, or the awakening, was already done. In truth, Savannah Chrisley wasn't a villain. But she also wasn't the untouchable, golden-haired hero fans once saw. She was a woman navigating disaster with a spotlight overhead and millions of eyes watching every misstep. And thanks to Rebecca's cold, hard truth, that spotlight had shifted, not to shame Savannah, but to challenge her. Would she finally put down the branding playbook and pick up the humility fans had been craving? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain. The days of soft sympathy were over. The fans were watching with sharper eyes now. And some of them, like Rebecca, weren't afraid to say what needed to be said, even if it hurt.